Okay, hello. Today we are going to be setting up the group policies for the purpose of logging for phase two. This has been a long time coming for this phase. This will be the final part to it. After this, we're going to move into the attack phase. If you haven't seen the videos about me making dashboards, go back to the dashboard videos for Wazuh. We will also be making dashboards at the end of this video, but in general, this video will be about the group policies, updating them, the codes that entail with them, as well as the the configuration for our dashboards and editing the Wazuh config file. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead, go into our domain controller, and you're gonna wanna search up group policy management, and then you're gonna go from group policy management, forest, soclab.local, domain, soclab.local, default domain policy, edit, right click on an edit. Then you're gonna go to computer configuration, policies, Windows settings, security settings. Expand this. Advanced audit policy configuration, audit policies. And to start, we're going to do account login. Okay. So for account login, you don't really need any for this. This is related to the Kerberos service tickets, other login events such as account mapping, domain controller login validations, etc. But for this one, I'm going to just audit credential validation. So this is it mapping it against the domain controller. Okay, so next we're going to move into account management. From here we have audit application group management. And this is the role-based authorization for applications. And then next is computer account management, which tracks changes to AD computer accounts, Active Directory computer accounts. And then we have other account management events, and these are just policy changes. Then we have user account management, and these track changes to the server, local users, and AD user accounts. So these are going to give us the codes 4726, 4720. 4720 is an account creation, 4726 is an account deletion, and then we're also going to get 4723 event ID, which is a password change. And if you don't know what an event ID is, that's what Wazuh uses from collecting the logs. And when you go into Wazuh, you'll search event IDs and these will pop up. These could relate to security events, they could not. Users get created all the time, passwords get changed. But if you have it happening often or from an unknown source, it's something to pay attention to. And then we have the detailed tracking, which I have nothing for. And then DS access, I have audit directory service changes. So this is most useful to track changes to any directory object deleted, configured, moved, etc. It's pretty advanced, so I'm only going to keep it as success because it might relate to any file or objects that are being created or destroyed. Then we have log in, log off, which is essential to this. So the log on is going to be like 4624, which is login success. And then we also have 4625, which is login failure. But this is also our account management. And then account log off is going to be like our 4634 code event IDs. Then we have object access. This is the most important one. because I'm doing a scan on the network, this will show codes related to the firewall. And so object access is similar to the DS service, tracks files and objects. It's a filtering platform. Correlation shows applications allowed or denied by filtering. The filtering works similarly to ACLs or access control lists. These will show the firewall codes or event ID 5157 for blocked connection or 5156 for allowed connections by the firewall. So that's what we're going to be looking at in a second. And then here's policy changes. These are any policy. So these are policies right here. So that's what that's related to. And then we have privilege use, which is just going to be like privilege changes, anything in general. And the rest are, I'm leaving blank for this. And so after you change the group policies, you have to go to your device, log in, make sure you're logging into your domain. And you're going to want to open a command prompt, run it as an administrator though. So to update, you're going to have to do this for each host. GP update / force. I've already done this, but it's fine to do it again. Okay, and then after that finishes, you might want to restart the machine so you know they apply. But next, you're going to check it with the command audit pull /get /category asterisk. So this is kind of what we were just looking at before, and go through these, make sure everything works, log in, log off is correct, all this is correct. It's not going to be in the same order, so be careful. And then we can go into Wazuh and set up our dashboards. I've already set up 2 dashboards, one for the user creation and deletion. So if you want to see this one, okay, I gotta log back in. Yeah, I'm showing passwords, but good luck getting into this because this is an intranet. So as you can see, I use date histogram, timestamp by the day, and then similar stuff. It's going to be the timestamp, the agent name is the next one, and then the account that was created. So I'll show you the account because this is data.win.event ID target username. So that's the name that was created. And if we go back like 7 days ago, let's say, update, you can see I created a couple accounts, test accounts, and then just deleted them. 4726 is deletion, 4720 is creation. So there's that. Let's go back to our visualization, our dashboards. Oh, I must not have saved one. Let's see. User creation, deletions. I had password changes. Okay. So this visualization is pretty similar. So we're filtering for 4723 or 4724. and then it's going to color code it by the name. I don't know why this one says John's agent. That should be like another name. It's weird it's doing this. I don't know how that happened. I think it's because I logged into a different account on it. But this one essentially is just the agent name, time, date, histogram, timestamp, save and return. So I'm going to go ahead and create a new one. It's going to be another vertical bar. And this one is going to be for the successful and failed connections from the firewall. So you're going to do split chart first, and you can skip ahead if you don't want to see how to make this, or you know how to already. I'm going to do date histogram. I always do date histogram first. Let's do by the hour. Update that. Rows. Some. Oh, I don't have any. Okay. Cool. Reload this. Made it buffer. It crashed it. So let's delete that real quick. Ugh. All right, just open a new page. So don't do that. Okay, dashboards, or you can just create visualization, edit, add, create new, visualization. I'm gonna do vertical bar chart. Okay, so we're gonna do data.win.system.eventid 5157 or 5156. You can just do 5156 if you wanna see like just the successful connections, but for the purpose of this, I'm gonna do 5157. But before I get into that, we do have to change something in our settings. So you're gonna run Notepad as administrator. That'll open. Okay, mine's already open, but I'll close it just to show you. Here, we'll do it on 3, because 3 needs it too. Add as administrator, you have to do this if you have oh, I guess I might have done it for this one too as well. No, I haven't done it for this one. Okay. I think it's just open because I was running it as administrator already. But so you can see for our event channels, it's not logging any of the security events. So we want to remove this so it will log it. And this site here is pretty helpful for figuring out what exactly group policies are, what event IDs are. So like if you're looking for a certain event ID, which you can just find online, this will help you understand where it's at. And I'll put this in the link, and I'll put a link in the bio for this video for it. but essentially this tells you about the group policies, what events they do, what they actually do, etc. So file, save. So now that should be working. File, open. Here, I'll show you where it is on this. So you're gonna go to this PC, disk, program files, x86, ossec agent. So you're not gonna see it. You gotta do all files in the corner right here. ossec.conf. And then I already enabled it for this one, so this one's good. Save. So essentially what we're doing is we just allowed 5157. So 5156, the successful connections is still tracked. And the reason it's not is because you have a ton of failed connections in a network at any given time, and tracking it is kind of pointless because there's constantly people scanning, there's constantly people trying to connect to the resources in the internet on the network and failing. So like they'll enable 5156 for successful and then also filter it out for like SSH or RDP or essentially any other applications that are running on the network. But for this, so I'm gonna go ahead and generate some traffic. So let's do for 101, we'll get another terminal going. And 103, let's get one more. Map, dash SS, SP, 2.68.50.2. Okay, and then give that a few minutes. And we'll work on this. So split chart, columns, an aggregation, date histogram. Time is going to be hour. You can even do day. I mean, day is honestly better. Let's not do what we did last time. So update's good because we have our filter applied. So you can see there's a lot of traffic right here. And then we're going to add another split series. Select an aggregation, terms. Select field, agent, IP, update. So far we have just 102. That should hopefully change here once this finishes. Oh, it just quit. Cool. IP address. I might have had to restart Wazuh for this to work. Anyway, let's continue with this. Let's see. Agent IP. Okay. We're gonna filter. No, we'll just keep it like that. And you can shorten this to 5156. Update. Oh. I guess 5156, there's none, so it's only 5157. I'm gonna Save. Failed connections by turn. Add that one to it. Okay, that looks bad. Let's edit it again. Entry. Date. There we go. Okay. It just shows the timestamp there. Timestamp. Let's do per day. Well, I guess. Yeah. It's going to have to be like this. So save and return. That looks at least a little better. You can hover over it and see the timestamp. But essentially, we're going to have to go into PowerShell, one as administrator. Do net stop. Waz up. Start. Waz up. So let's go ahead and scan this one. Don't actually scan a real network because you will get fired. And then you can go to 3. 3 here. Same thing here. One as administrator. Administrator. Start. Up. Okay, sweet. And then we're gonna do same thing again. Okay, let's do a little more. This okay. I did the wrong command. Okay. And then we can also do 0/24 to the whole network. And let's go back here. Fresh. Okay, so now we have new ones popping up. We should have 103 pop up in a second here. Yep, there's 103. I don't know. The DC domain controller essentially isn't. PC. So you do got to go on the ossec agent and do it too. more time, we'll scan the whole network. And then after this, we're going to make another dashboard for, I believe, password change. It's the next one. All right, let's see if this worked. Sometimes it takes a second. So, okay, so yeah, there's this one. So that's cool. Now we're able to see what's getting scanned on our network. Okay, I'm gonna do add. I already have a template for password changes for a vertical bar. I'll walk through what this one looks like. So data.win.system.eventid 4723 or 4724. And then of course we have the date histogram. And then we have the agent name. That's it. That's essentially it. So yeah, and then I can also go to the other ones. Turn. So, I mean, to test this, you just have to log into the admin, which I can show you this one as well. So this is just going to use this target username. There's no buckets or anything. This is using the gauge visualization. But if I want to, I can actually from this one, I can user add, project user. Password 1. Add. Completed successfully. Then just do the same thing. Password 123. That'll change the password. And then /delete. We'll delete it. Okay. And then if I go here, refresh. Oh, look at that. Get that. I should have saw a password change here. I don't know if it technically shows it because it's not one of the domain users. I don't think it does show it, which is fine. If one of these had a password change, it would tell us. I think the only one I haven't changed is this one, which I really don't want to change because it's annoying having to memorize all these passwords. I'm going to do Control-Alt-Delete, change a password, type in the old password, and then you're going to do oh, they did not match. Cool. Okay, password has been changed. Let's see here. Refresh. Okay, this one's not working. Which I don't know why it would be doing this. Um, so I think it's only gonna track admin password changes. Let's just restart it just to be sure. Yeah, no, the password was changed. The password was in fact changed, and so let's go to Event Viewer, Windows, Security, current. If it would load, 723, nothing. Also nothing. So I don't know why that's not working. If I figure it out, I'll explain it in another video. But as of now, that's all I have for today. And thank you for watching. Goodbye.